rock and roll, man. You know,
cool.
You're a pro. You know how this goes.
Yeah,
this shit is good because I'll admit I'm fanboying out. Randy can see it in my eyes.
As he
All right.
stares longingly and deeply into your eyes.
Oh no! Don't do that.
No.
That's
All
the
right.
only
So
way
here
to do
comes
it.
Ray. See, goddamn, Ray, you're late. See, you threw me off, Ray. I'm mad at your wife now. All right, let's play the music.
That happens to me. Sean fucks me up all the time, coming in late or with some story. I'm like, man, I got to do a fucking show here.
So you try to get in the zone, and then the music hits. Ugh. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 108 of The Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that is slightly better than mediocre. I am your host, Rem, and this is what we have been building to. This episode is the reason I started the podcast 108 weeks ago. It's more than that because we had some bonus in there, Ray. Anyways, you know what I mean. Back when I got Huel to do this, it was all for this one night. It finally comes together. Ray, no podcast next week because we're done after this. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, yeah. Nice. It's been a good run just to get to 108 so we could meet and talk to our special guest. And then, might as well just call it quits after that. There's nothing left to achieve.
There'll be nothing left to do. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to The Rich Dickman Show for the first time ever. It is the one and only Dick Masterson. Dick, good evening.
What's up, guys? Thanks for letting me be on your 108th episode. As you know, I was not able to have one of my own, so my spirit can go on to the other world once I've done all the other 108s. I agree. Stop after 108. That I probably should have stopped the Dick Show on 108. I think it's been nothing but trouble ever since then. But it's up to you.
Well, I have another milestone I need to meet for my own ghost. So we actually might do 7 more episodes. I have to get to a 115 because my last podcast stopped at 114 for me. And then my co-host basically told everybody I had cancer, and people were yelling at me, wondering if I was dying or not. So,
Wait, really? They said you had cancer?
Yeah.
That's why the show was stopping?
Well, no, she didn't say I had cancer, but she made it seem that way. It's a long. See, Dick, this is why I'm so excited to talk to you because, we are very similar, not in anything other than we're the same age. You're a month older than I am, like a month and 3 days, whatever it is. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you then. It's a horrible age.
It's terrible. It's everything's bad now. But back on what was it? Episode 77 was the first episode of The Biggest Problem you were kicked off of, right? It was 77?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a tweet, and forgive me for remembering all this. I'm a big fucking nerd, and I apologize. But there was a tweet that somebody had mentioned, where was Dick, or they had said Dick couldn't make it. Yeah. Dick couldn't make it. And then you responded to that tweet with, "Oh, really? Is that what they said?" And I only remember this, Dick, because it's the same type of response I would have given when I quit my other show. And I could tell just there was a little bit of tension there, right? And then let's fast forward 30. Yeah. So 30 episodes later, after 107, when it was over, you had broken up. And at the time, the information we had at the time when it was broken, it was kind of similar to when I broke up from my podcast. But then it turned out it's not similar at all because I was never accused of all the things that you were accused of doing. So there's this one way.
So you recognized it right away, like, oh, that's a weird response. If what they're saying is true, that's a very strange response to have. Oh, is that what they're saying?
Because you can kind of tell podcast drama, right? You can tell how the hosts, how they interacted one week versus the next, and if something's wrong, especially if you're a longtime fan. Yeah. So
78 was tense as fuck, man. 78 and 79 was tense as hell. I remember, I think it was right after 77. I think Asterios and Joan Ford were there. And we're clapping that we were back together, and oh, see, you guys made up. Isn't that great? If only they knew how it would go after that. But it was real tense going in there and sitting at the fucking table and going over to Maddox's house and, hey, how you doing? Well, and then knowing at the same time that I was leaving there to go directly to 80s Girl's house, which is who. Oh, what's that?
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that. Randy's got it in the rent.
Going directly to 80s Girl's house to spend the night at her place, who had caused the entire, who had caused the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like, living that lie for
Her
30
fault.
episodes was just fantastic.
God, I have so many questions. I don't know how I can go forever because not necessarily the podcast drama, but just the behind the scenes of it. And I just remember, I used to have I'm sorry everybody for bringing this up again, but it's fairly significant in my life, assholes. I used to have a podcast called Torrent Think Tank, and it was a World of Warcraft based podcast where we gave advice to World of Warcraft players, me and my co-host, right? And there were many times along the way where she and I had disagreements, so to speak, and just there was this, remember, just like right before the episode would record,
like a bull.
Yeah,
Torrent think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yep, from the World of Warcraft. Yeah.
I don't know that much about World of Warcraft.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
you know what Torrent is. So
I know from the South Park.
Now?
I know that there's a lot of chicks on there who are actually guys. I know that.
Yes. Yeah, plenty of that.
Oh, yeah.
You learn a lot about life that way. But just taking that tension, like from arguing right before the episode and then actually turning it into something pretty amazing. We had a couple of good episodes after fighting, so that was always fun. All right, so Dick, I'm so excited to have you here. Like I said, I've been waiting 108 episodes for this moment. I've been a big fan.
I'm excited to be here. I don't want to derail your show, though. Ignore me.
No, please. There is no rail. It's more like they finished one side of it, and the other side's kind of screwy, and so
good.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
So I guess it all comes down to Dick. I know a lot about you, like currently, because of your show and from The Biggest Problem and all that, but I've always wanted to know about Dick before all that. So if you wouldn't mind, I would like to ask a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, when did you know that comedy was where you wanted to be?
Oh God. I don't know. I was always a little jerk as a kid.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how like Dr. Phil do you want to go on that one? Like it's just being
full.
Hearing the way people are and seeing the way they are is just so frustrating and maddening. I think you either have to become a serial killer or get into comedy. Like it's the only thing. It's like the release valve on a pressure cooker. Like people say one thing, do another, just argue constantly. Like they're getting entangled in their pettiness and stupidity drives you insane. I think the only way to survive it is to let it out in a absurdist way. As a kid, I was always a little jerk. I always thought things were funny. I loved riling my parents up at dinner. I loved fucking with them, probably because I don't know. I enjoyed the power that I had over them by messing with them and fucking around with them and making people uncomfortable. It's probably some kind of sick
you came out of your shell
like that.
Well, maybe not. But but you found that at a young age. I remember I've seen one of those people they posted on the YouTube of you doing your morning news in your high school.
Oh yeah, I got kicked off those announcements.
Saved by the Bell hair.
Yeah, everybody makes fun of my hair, but everyone dressed like that back then. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm old, you motherfuckers. I know I had dyed hair. I'm old. Like. I know that in my high school yearbook, I'm dressed up like Ace Ventura because it's the mid-'90s. Like, everyone dressed like that on Halloween in the 90s. I had a mullet. So did Jose Canseco. Yes. I was in 6th grade. Yeah. I'm an attention whore. That's where the comedy comes from.
I had it was shaved on the sides and it grew from the top. So, the hair from the top went down to my ears. I had that asshole haircut when I was in high school.
Oh God. Which one is shaved on your sides and then all the way up on top?
Yeah.
Like a Proud Boy do?
No, much longer. It's like, all the sides were shaved and it was long enough on top to come down to my ears. So I'd have to gel it back, I
remember that look.
I
fucking remember that look.
Yeah.
That was you were a tough guy then in high school. You were wrong.
Oh God, no! I was trying to fit in. See, I came out of my shell much later in life. My high school years were rough. So
I went the complete opposite direction of you guys. And my hairstyle in high school, at least in the beginning, was one of the bad guys from the movie The Rock, who had it parted down the middle and it kind of went down past your eyebrows.
Oh,
That's what I was going for. I didn't do it. I couldn't pull it off, and I definitely didn't have the muscular physique of the guy, the bad guy, to look like a badass. So it was a fail. I had to change that pretty quick.
Wait, which bad guy? The badass Marine bad guy, not the old Marine, right?
Yeah, he was one of the younger guys. I think he's the guy that gets shot. It's been so long since I've seen the movie, but he gets shot by the rocket.
With the crazy eyes? Okay, yeah.
One of them, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he had hair parted down the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who was, oh, yeah. We all know who you're talking. We all know The Rock.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Oh,
great movie. So as you're going along, Dick, so you go through high school and you're a little asshole, as you said, and you go into college and you have your successful college career, and then you move on. So at what point did you decide I need to write a book called Men Are Better Than Women?
I kind of got pushed into that one.
Did you?
God. Yeah, that one, it just fell into my lap. It's the damnedest thing. Like, everybody tries so hard to write a book, but it just happened to me out of nowhere. I was doing that site. I started menarbetterthanwomen.com because in college, do you remember that time in like the late 90s, like 99, I want to say, when domain names went from being $150 to like $15 for a year?
Yeah.
I was working at an encryption company then. I think I had already dropped out of college. I was working at an encryption company with Coach, my life coach. That's where I met him. And the day that they dropped, we were all sitting around at lunch and decided to just get stupid domain names, like try to buy the most goofiest or offensive domain names you could buy. And that was mine. I bought menarbetterthanwomen.com. It's like, oh, here, this will piss everyone off, menarbetterthanwomen.com. So then we'd go to these dumb encryption conferences, and Coach would go just out of nowhere to people like, you realize this is the owner and the proprietor of menarbetterthanwomen.com. What do you think about that? And then I think I threw some old ancient WordPress software on there just to demo it to a client, because I thought that they would get a kick out of it, and wrote a couple articles. And I wrote a couple articles in 15 minutes. Like, you read them, it's just stream of consciousness nonsense. But from that, it started getting sent around, and people started leaving comments on these 3 or 4 articles. So I said, well, fuck it, I'll write more. Like, it's funny. These people come on there and they get all pissed off. It's like these women leaving these diaries of why they have value and why I'm wrong. And it was so fun to just treat them poorly, because they're assholes. Like, who leaves these comments is people who are assholes, who get on there. They're just so sanctimonious.
Yeah.
So I kept writing them. I kept making them worse and worse to piss more people off. And sure enough, the next thing you know, the editor, Jeremy Ruby Strauss, the editor at Simon & Schuster, asked me if I just wanted to make a website into a book, because guys were doing that. Maddox did it. Tucker Max did it. It made sense. Just sell the content that your fans already like back to them in a book form. And then Dr. Phil hit me up at the same time to go on the show. So it's kind of just a huge lucky coincidence. Next thing you know, I'm on international TV, just doing the same stupid material. Like, yeah, fuck women, actually. Oh, boo, you suck dick. Like, oh, you would know about sucking dicks, wouldn't you? Oh, you suck. Like, it's just the oldest tricks always work. They always piss people off because they fucking know that it's true. Every one of those articles is true, and they fucking know it. That's got me where I am today. Completely completely unassociatable because of my history of being a jerk.
Yeah. So you're essentially untouchable now. I mean, because no matter, and we can get into this part later, but no matter the drama that surrounds you, you don't give a shit these days because you've been there. I think you said on a recent episode, you told a woman to get on a treadmill on national television. So you don't fucking care.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say? Maddox got in his lawsuit, just put all of my fucking shit out there. All my company, all my partners, my address. I'm like, look, I don't fucking care. What is there left to say about me? The entire world thinks I'm a misogynist. I'm a scum. I'm scum of the earth. They want to cut my balls off. This is regular to me. They threaten me with this constantly. What are you going to say? I have an ugly haircut? Oh no!
So how much of the early writings on the web were, this is just coming to me now, but how much, and I hate to bring him up again, I'm sorry, but he was a big deal
Don't
back in the late 90s. Yeah. How much of that was inspired by what Maddox was doing on his website?
I liked Maddox's site. You know, we passed it around in college. Like it got passed around, but I don't know if it was really like I don't know if you need to be inspired to say shitty things online. Like, I think that's just kind of built into some people. I don't know if I can, like, credit Maddox as well, you know, I saw he was doing it and said, oh, I need to be a jerk online as well.
What a groundbreaking thing that he's doing here. Yeah.
If anybody deserves credit, it's Tom Leykis. I listened to him as a teenager, as a kid. Whenever I would drive, I would listen to him all the time. And, like, get wrapped up in the show and, you know, talk to myself and pretend to do my own show. So if anybody deserves any credit, it would be Tom Leykis. But he blocked me on Twitter, so fuck him.
See, I grew up on Howard Stern professional wrestling, and 20 years later, I can finally do it on my stupid podcast. So that's great. Oh shit! I just lost one. I had another question. See, Ray, you distracted me. I was going to ask another question, and then it's gone. It'll come back.
Fucking Ray.
All right. Yeah.
Distraction factor.
What was your favorite Howard years?
Oh God, my favorite Howard years were. I tell you, the one time I laughed the hardest was the first time they put Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf in a box, and he was saying, "Help, get me out of this box." That might have been 98, 99. I couldn't. I was pissing myself laughing so hard. But yeah, the late 90s, very early 2000s were my favorite Howard years. Yeah. Now he's something completely different now.
I know. I tried to listen. I liked the Ronnie years. Then after that, the last time I quit Howard and tried to get back into it, I had no more love for it. I found.
Yeah, I followed him over to Sirius, and I went another 4 years. I think I went to 2010 till my kids could start understanding what was happening on the radio, and I just couldn't play that while I was driving them home anymore. So, but it was sad. It's sad to see the downfall of the once great Howard Stern becoming what he became. I'm sorry, HDNB. You're going to hate what I said that. That's Hot German News Babe. She's still a fan. So, okay. Yeah.
You got a Hot German News Babe in here. All right.
Oh, yeah.
She does news. She calls in. Yep. But yeah, we don't do anything in studio because we don't, first of all, we don't have a studio. We have a basement. And Ray's across the country. Ray's in California, actually. He's suffering the same hell that you are over there.
Dude, is it fucked? Where are you, Ray?
I'm right outside of Sacramento. Where are you at? LA?
I'm in LA. Yeah.
Most people are.
Is it still locked down up there?
Starting to open stuff back up. In the Bay, it's been brutal. Like everything's locked down, but things are starting to open back up. Most places around here still require masks and stuff like that. Which is funny because everyone does the same move as soon as they exit the threshold of the building, which is, right hand toward the left ear and rip that fucking mask off as fast as they can and suck in air like it's the first breath they've ever taken. Like, oh yes. Like just people hate it.
Dude,
so,
it's horrible.
Yeah. It should be over soon.
I went out to get some whiskey yesterday. I get in the car and it is the same thing, that rip off and that that breath of air. I don't know how they're forcing. I don't know how people are letting themselves be forced to do it like employees. I don't know how they're breathing all day.
Yeah, if you're sitting at a desk isolated like in your cubicle, that's bullshit. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I get it. I still am of the mindset that, okay, if you're going to like a grocery store and there's other people around you that might be at risk, you know what? I'll be courteous. But if we're just out and about, I went golfing over the weekend and they're like, oh yeah, near the clubhouse, you have to wear it. And I'm like, but there's no one here. Like you're behind your little plexiglass. I'm still 10 feet away. Like, why do I have to wear this mask? There's literally no one else around. And then at least you get on the course and they're like, yeah, whatever, take it off. But I don't know. The whole thing's just silly.
Yeah. My buddy Randy and I went to the driving range last week and we had to wear the mask the whole time. Fucking sucked.
What?
Well, and we only went there to drink. Like, we only went there because they were serving beer and there's nowhere else to go. Like, you can't even stand in a parking lot and drink anymore. So we had to go golf.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Well, that's what they've closed down half the driving range. Like they block off every other one of them.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous because you're right. They actually this driving range and this course actually sold beer at a pretty good rate, so we were able to get quite a few beers without breaking the bank. But it's ridiculous that like bars, the place where you socialize and drink, they're all closed. But alcoholism, skyrocketing. You can walk into a dispensary and you go fucking buy a bunch of whatever you want. But if you want a haircut, you got to go to like some back alley, like shady business deal. Like the whole thing's backwards and upside down, man. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah. We were supposed to be able to get haircuts on Wednesday, but our governor, who's too busy killing people in old folks' homes, we pushed that to June. So I'm going to go another month without a haircut now, apparently. I got an uncle who offered to cut my hair. He used to cut hair in his early years. And he said, yeah, come on over. I still have my stuff and I'll teach you how to cut my hair. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I said, hey, wife, I'm going to go get my haircut. And she said, oh, no, you're not. What are you talking about? She said, no, you're not going to bring that Rona home to the kids. I'm like, God, just because you leave the house doesn't mean you're going to get the fucking Rona. God damn it. Yeah.
Oh man. I've heard tell of these husband-wife fights over the Rona risk. This friend of ours this chick had to sneak over here and sneak back to her home because her roommate would have lost her mind if she found out she was going somewhere else.
See, I'm an essential worker. I'm in every day. All right. I'm at work and I'm bossing around a bunch of people. And then I run to the store. I do all the errands. I'm doing all that shit. So I'm out there anyway. It's like if I had anything, I would have had it by now. All right. So I think I'm pretty okay going and get a haircut. But I work in an industry where heat injuries could befall the person wearing the coronavirus mask because they restrict your flow of air. And the second we have a multitude of heat injuries because of the masks, you can watch those things go right away.
Yeah.
I was hoping because when I first started planning 108 here, Dick, this was back in the early Corona times. And I was thinking, man, the lockdown's going to be done. Dick's going to be getting out on the road and doing lots of fun stuff. And it's going to be exciting to talk about opening up again. But no, you've got another 3 months at least of this shit.
I know. I think we're just going to leave. I'm trying to put together a list of cities that have bars open, and I think we're just going to go stay in a Airbnb or something. I cannot sit here anymore and drink myself to death in my own house.
So you should get yourself, and this is an idea that my old co-host and I had, but because we can't get things together because we have families and shit. But rent yourself an RV, get all your shit in the RV, and then you could podcast in a goddamn RV for the next 7 months. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I don't really want to shit in where I'm sleeping. I don't know why. I just have this aversion to RVs because all the experience I have with them is they stink because it's all been at Burning Man and they just reek like people.
Yeah. I mean, if you get yourself, 80s girl when she's not working, maybe one or the other, maybe Randy. You have a Randy, I have a Randy. They can come hang out, and you hire someone to come clean it out wherever you stop. They make it work, right? Listen, I think it's a great idea, and I'm just going to stand by it. So,
out on the road, the open road. Yeah.
I mean, through the Midwest, you could probably make a killing. I think they're starting to. I don't know. I think Mad Cucks would know better about the Midwest than I would. Anyways, so you mentioned Dr. Phil. And you wrote for a show called Mansers. Is that correct?
I was in a couple episodes as an actor.
You were?
Yeah. Did you ever see that show?
I did. This is why I wanted to talk about it because I remember Mansers and I remember 1,000 Ways to Die, like being in the same block on Spike TV.
Yeah.
And I always thought Mansers was funny because Spike TV went hard after the man audience in the early 2000s. It's like, Spike TV, the station for men. You couldn't do that these days because they would be misogynist and thrown off the air, right? Because, why? How it is these days. Yeah.
It was so weird and condescending too. Like whatever they thought a man was, I don't think we ever figured that out. Because apparently a man wants just to hear a really over the top, like, next on 1,000 Ways to Die, it's a boner and a butt, boobs, beer. Like, I'd watch that show and be so put off by it. Or you just have to watch it on mute.
So you were an actor and you weren't a writer?
No, I just acted on the show.
Okay.
I met some of the people from some of the people who worked on it at UCB, and you go in and just do these stupid, like over the top cartoon looking exaggerated reactions to shit. I don't know if that show is still on or if anybody knows it. I think I was on. No. I was on it. Maybe one of the most episodes. I think I have like the most episodes under my belt. Me and a couple other guys were in an overwhelming number or a bulk of the series.
No shit,
because we look like cartoons.
See, the WWE had moved to TNN, which became Spike TV, right? So I watched a lot more of Spike TV than I should have, just because I was watching wrestling. And so, 1,000 Ways to Die, Mansers, all the other stupid shows they had on, I just happened to watch because they were on either before or after wrestling. Now that I'm thinking of it, I mean, did you have the long hair when you did Mansers? Because I'm trying to picture you.
No, I had short hair. Okay, I had short, like normal hair, and I think I might have had the eyebrow stud for half of that until one of the strippers who was on set. We were pretending to make out we were pretending to have sex in an airplane bathroom, and she told me I should take it out. I was like, well, I mean. Obviously, you would know, so I'm never wearing this again. Thank you for letting me know that I need to do that. It was a fun show, though. Like I had to have a threesome in a helicopter. Had to pretend to have a threesome in a helicopter. That was a good one.
While it was flying,
they picked it up on a fucking crane. Like we went to this airplane graveyard. Out in the Mojave Desert, there's an airplane graveyard where they've got hundreds of planes, old crappy little Cessnas, all the way up to huge decommissioned military craft. And they loaded me and these two chicks, who I assume are strippers. They loaded us in this helicopter. They had an actual helicopter pilot teach me what the controls did. So I wouldn't mess up the realism or something. I mean, you get comedians in there and they're like, "Oh, look at me, it's my dick." Like, no. That's not. They're trying to somewhat make it look realistic, or it's not funny. And then they had these two strippers grinding on me while I'm pretending to fly a helicopter that's being held in the air by a crane. And there's this crazy backdrop behind it. It was an unnecessarily complicated shoot for a dumb joke, like having a threesome in a helicopter, which someone actually did. That was why they did it. It was the Manser was what's the craziest, or the question was what's the craziest place anyone's had a threesome, and it was a helicopter.
Ray, at some point this weekend, you have to look up a Mansers episode on YouTube and just see how over the top and aggressive it is. What's the craziest place to have sex? A helicopter. It's great.
Yeah, it was so stupid, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to make.
Well, I bet.
And so the bar that I would go to, my favorite bar in Hollywood, they would always have that stupid show on. So the bartender would, I got recognized off of that Mansers by this bar, that is little crappy bar that I would only, the Frolic Room in Hollywood that I would only ever go to. I walked in there, he was like, "Hey, you're the guy from Mansers." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? The guy from Mansers? That show's just full of a bunch of idiots. He goes, "No, I see you. I see you on Mansers." Like, all right.
Yeah, no,
you're right.
Yeah, you're super famous, man. Yeah. Here's a free drink. Oh no, they probably made you pay, right? One more question about show business before we go into we have 3 bits planned for you, Dick, and so if you bear with us, but so the new Man Show. Did I hear you talk about writing for that or doing something on the new Man Show?
Well, Maddox and I sold I don't remember what we called it. I think we ended up, I don't even think we ended up naming that show because so many things went wrong with it. We sold a show with the production company for 1,000 Ways to Die. The production company that was 1,000 Ways to Die and Deadliest Catch, we sold a talk show with them. So we went into Spike TV with those guys as our partners and sold a show that it started out being called The Best Show in the Universe, but then Maddox threw a huge fit because he wanted to do his web series of The Best Show in the Universe. So
an asshole.
He wouldn't say no. And it's like, well, I'm just kind of worried. It's like, man, just say no, yes or no. Like, come on. You got to make these decisions. They fucked us around with. So what happened there? I mean, I don't know if it's not interesting, just cut me off. But I always think that that fucked up TV deals are interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. That's all that matters, Ray.
Yeah. We go in, you write all this stuff, you go into the network and you pitch it. And we pitched it to the president of the network, who was a woman at the time, who said that the Man Show reboot had been a failure. The Man Show 2 had been a failure because the set felt like a date rape was about to happen. I said, okay, well, we'll try to make it a little more, fun than that. The one with Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope. And she was right. Yeah, it felt fucking weird.
Doug Stanhope had nothing to do with that vibe, I'm sure.
Isn't that guy weird? He is. I heard an interview of him on Howard, and he's talking about how he doesn't have sex with his girlfriend because he doesn't want her to He doesn't want to subject her to his grossness. I'm like, man, this is it's not funny at all.
And he was on a site called baiting.org, where he would pose as a young person and bait pedophiles. Did you hear that?
Boy, no. That's for fun? No. He did that?
Yeah. That baiting.org and Maddox's site is what I was reading when I was skipping class in college.
Anyway, we were in there to clean up his mess with the rape show too. So you sell this pitch document, which just it's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, you write this giant document that explains the show you want to make, and then it describes why you are qualified to make the show, and then you give a bunch of bits that you would see in the show. And it was funny stuff. But I remember even then Maddox going like, we could do a bit where it's like two women kissing. It's gay or not gay. And I'm like, yeah, gay or not gay. That's funny. And then it's like two chicks kissing, like, not gay, right? That's not gay. And the Maddox was like, yeah, but then we could really be subversive and do like a man kissing his son, and is that gay or not? I'm like, man, that's not funny at all. What the fuck are you talking about, man? I don't want a man kissing a little boy. What are you talking about? Just write jokes, man. It's not that hard. So we sold that, and then we met with the lawyer to go over our contracts, and I had a bunch of questions like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And their lawyer couldn't be there because somebody on another show, like Deadliest Catch or something, somebody on another one of their shows had stabbed somebody. So their lawyer had to run out and go to that show and they're sent in their paralegal to meet with us. And I'm like, well, I mean, what's the point of this meeting? Like, you don't know any of these questions that I have. So she goes, well, I'll check. So she sent over the contract later for us to look at, and I said, yeah, I mean, looks good. Or I said, I love it, something like that. I said, yeah, I love it. So they just took that as a signed contract and ran with it and put everything into production. Like, I mean, it's not even close to a contract. It's not. So we get way down the line of casting for this show, which was dumb. I think we should have hosted it, but Maddox, I thought we should have hosted it, and it would be great. It would have been like the biggest problem, which was great. Maddox thought we shouldn't host it because he didn't want to because he didn't think he'd be any good, and if he wasn't going to do it, he didn't want me having fun doing it. So he wanted to get professionals to host it. I'm like, all right, man. We had this huge casting call where a bunch mostly unfunny people, but funny enough, Eric Andre came in, and he was our number one choice to host it at the time before he had the Eric Andre show. So at that point, I said, hey, what's going on with our contract? And they said, oh, you guys that's already done. What do you mean? I said, I don't know. It's not done. What about all these questions and all this shit? And, okay, show me. Where's my fucking signature on a contract? So that turned into like 2 months of this really unfortunate and awkward back and forth. We had to get a lawyer. We were told you'll never work in this town again. And it was like, man, like, we're not fucking around. You guys just kind of took the idea and sold it. You got a bunch of money for this, but we didn't get shit, and you didn't sign anything. How is this our fault? But ultimately, it didn't matter anyway because it didn't go anywhere. So there you go. That's what happened there. That's okay. I'm sure if it would have been a great hit, it would have immediately imploded anyway because Maddox and I can only work together for 107 episodes. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
it probably worked out for the best.
One of the worst insults I ever received was back in my younger years. I'd sit around with the guys, bunch of custodians at a convalescent home, and we just make fun of each other, and I'd just be ripping on people left and right. And somebody came up to me and said, "Oh man, you should be a writer for a television show." I'm like, "Oh, well, what about an actor? I think I'm pretty funny." Like, no, you can write. Oh, okay. Let's move on. All right, so Dick, Randy, can you unmute Crippled Jesus, please?
Oh, great.
And so we brought Crippled Jesus on, Dick, and you know Crippled Jesus. And a few weeks ago, he was telling you about his mother's boyfriend who talks in very effeminate ways to the dog. so one day, Crippled Jesus, he got a new microphone, and he left the recorder on for about 24 hours. And I was helping Crippled Jesus with his podcast, Holy Rollers. And I said, "Hey man, you have about 24 hours worth of audio recorded here. What should we do with it?" And then he said, "Oh, maybe Coach Fuckface is talking to the dog. If you can clip out anything, that would be great." So I did. So Crippled Jesus wanted me to play these for you. There he is.
Hi boys, how you doing?
What's up,
Congratulations on 100. By the way, 108. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
This bit caused a lot of controversy. I was originally going to bring it in when Andrew Tate called in, but my phone died. Get in on there. So, and then my mother found out about the bit, and she doesn't like me making fun of her boyfriend. So, in an attempt to scare me, she Googled eavesdropping, and she found an article of like how much jail time you can get in my state for eavesdropping. And I think that that sets up this bit better than I ever could. Because really, if it's not embarrassing, you wouldn't be trying to threaten me with jail.
Oh, no.
And just to be clear, Crippled Jesus sat and listened to 24 straight hours of audio and clipped out the particular time clips he asked me to do for him. This is contracted work.
I
did nothing.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
All right. So here's the first one, Dick, because we'd love to get your thoughts on these. This is a grown man talking to a dog.
I freely free fly. I freely fly.
Oh man.
All right. Stop. Let's go. All right. So that was the first one. And
What
let's
is
see
your
what we got
dog's
next.
name?
My dog's name is Frida.
Frida. Okay.
And because he has the intellectual capacity of a kindergartner, he thinks Frida Way is a funny joke. So he just says that all the time.
So they get a little longer.
You know, I really think my mom doesn't get enough special ed in her life raising me, so she wanted to date a retard to overdrive it.
Okay.
Oh, here's the next one.
I freely free fly. I freely even though we had no Facebook page freely. She's like, leave me alone. I want attention to food.
She's like, leave me alone. I want food. All right. All right. So we got two more, Dick. We got two more for you. What do you want to do next, CJ? You want to do the long one that's like a minute long?
I think there's one where he actually tries to ask the dog a question. I think I have that up there. You want to play that one?
Yes, I got He Won't Stop and Hello Fruity Pie. Might be He Won't Stop.
He Won't Stop. That's a good one.
All right, here we go.
That's a good one.
Are you hungry, afraid to fly? I get to hang out with you all week.
I told my brother we might come tomorrow, like take her for a walk, depending on the weather. My mom said there are some purple gang houses in Wyandotte.
Oh, I bet.
All right. And
Now, if I want to point out to me at least what's funny about that one, if you notice, my mom tries to have a normal conversation with him when she says, "Oh, my mom said there used to be purple gang houses around here." And he is so like infant brain that he can only focus on talking to the
I
dog.
noticed that too. That's using a completely normal voice. Hey, so this happened. Oh, she boo. Oh, she boo. Yeah. You want to think about getting dinner here, or I do that same shit.
I have to run up because I got a little issue going on. I'll be right back. Ray, you take over. Keep this one going. We got the last Hello Freddie Pie clip, but it's going to autoplay though, so I don't want that to happen. How do I turn off autoplay? Ray, how do I turn off autoplay? I don't know how to turn off autoplay. All right, here's the last one.
No, there's a button.
Yeah, and if it keeps going, just mute me. I'll be right back.
Who came to see you? Who is it? There she goes.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
From my
Totally
father.
out.
From my father.
Totally out. I got
Free the fly.
I got tissues.
Oh no.
Who's here free first? Huh? Thank you for this.
Yeah. How's it going, Cam?
Sure.
Oh God.
No, he introduced himself to me in that clip, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. Say hello to him with a straight face. I think that one is the best one because everybody knows that a chick talks to their dog, right?
Yeah.
That's normal for women to do.
Yeah.
And he's out talking to the dog up against a woman. He's doing it more than the woman.
He's trying to one up her.
He's really enjoying himself with that
Jesse
talk.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's maybe a secret zoophile. I don't know. Maybe he listens to one of those zoophile podcasts that you and Carl did.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him about it. But I think he is the definition of a beta male, and I hope my evidence prove that.
I mean, it's pretty damning evidence. I don't know if there's any recordings of me talking to a dog like that. I hope not.
And my mom is probably going to hear this, because when I teased it on the Rich Dickman show before, she was really upset about it. She started crying. And
She started crying.
She started crying, and I was trying to explain to her that the man that she chooses is not a reflection of her, and I was just ripping on her boyfriend because she's stupid. I didn't want her to cry, so I do want to end this bit by saying that my mother is amazing, and it's already hard to raise a crippled child from 0 to 18. I can only imagine dealing with Helen Keller's brother as a boyfriend would also be stressful.
That would be rough.
Yeah.
You have enough problems in your life already. You don't need to deal with this dog talking every day, it sounds
Man, I thought just when being in a chair couldn't get worse, the government shut the whole world down.
It's not because it's not like you can get up and go anywhere to escape the dog talking, right?
Yeah, right. It was already limited. And there was actually, the last thing I wanted to say is that there was a part where my mom got mad, and she used, I know that I mentioned that he grows shitty weed for me. I have a medical marijuana card, and I do smoke weed. she used his weed as like a negotiation tactic to not get me to play this bit. And I think at the time she thought that he actually was able to grow good weed.
Uh-huh.
But that did not work out a deal, obviously.
So was it like a deal where, you know, she's like, I'll have him give you X amount and then you won't let this be played, but then you get a hold of it, you know, you do the swap. You're upholding your end of the bargain, but then you take a puff and you're like, fuck this shit.
Rem asked me on the podcast, he said, your mom's boyfriend grows weed for you. And that was already after he mentioned that he talks to the dog, and my mom was upset. So in the background, she said, not anymore. You're not getting that weed anymore. You can kiss that goodbye. And,
do you really want homegrown weed? Like, that's like saying, oh, can I stop on the way home and get McDonald's? And your mom says, no, we have food at home. Like, yeah, but I want the fucking McDonald's. I want the good food. I don't want the home food.
Right. It'd be like if you were to go to McDonald's, but you had to go to Burger King instead. Homegrown weed is essentially Burger King.
Yeah.
Of weed.
Yeah. Well, sounds things just keep getting worse for you, man. That sounds rough.
You know what? Andrew Tate actually, he changed a lot of my outlook on life, so I'm actually doing better than.
Oh, what did he say that
good.
stuck with you?
Well, I've been doing this thing where I tell chicks on Tinder that I know them from high school, and it's been working like a charm.
Really?
And I actually, yes, there's this girl I matched with named Daisy. And I made her feel guilty for something that she'd never done. And she just ate it up.
I'm going to have to start doing that. Dude, I'm going to have to start doing that and being like, hey, it's that one that they say, the pickup line that always works is that, hey, do I know you from somewhere? Or, hey, you look familiar. What do I know you from? And then
So
you at least get the conversation going. Yeah.
What I said I said, in the middle of periods, like in the hallway, your book bag hit the power button on my chair, and it turned off my chair. And I was looking at you, and you didn't help me. You just walked past me. And I just kept going. I said I had to wait in a dark hallway for an hour so they could turn my chair back on.
That's so funny.
And she sent me a bunch of crying emojis. And in the end, I did get a picture of her feet, so it worked out.
Oh, that's good. Good job. Hey, what did you think of Screwy Louie not knowing that getting a blowjob was not losing your virginity?
Well, I had heard that from that guy, our girl.
Yeah.
I didn't think Louie was actually going to believe it. Like, I saw the thread and I thought maybe I should say that's not what that is, but it's common sense, I thought, at least.
So what? This our girl is going around saying that? Just
yeah, he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
But he did have that puppy dog filter, that Snapchat filter.
Oh,
that was his profile.
Oh.
So he might be a little out there.
Okay, that is a little odd. Good point. Do you have any more stories about these women that you lied to them to make them feel guilty?
Oh, that was just the one. I just adapted this method, so there'll be many more, I'm sure.
It's really great. It's really brilliant.
That's amazing. Yeah, CJ, we'll have to collaborate a little bit so I can use some of those myself when I get back on Tinder.
Oh yeah, sure.
We'll have to do that reverse, because if I'm coming at it from the female perspective, that's where it gets a little interesting. Is
anybody listening? I'll give one last Tinder tip and then I'll leave. Anybody listening right now, you have my permission to say that I am your crippled brother that you take care of.
It's really nice.
You'll vouch for us. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I'll have to use that too.
Yeah. But I'm back. I'm sorry
But,
about that.
thanks
Thank you,
again.
CJ.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and congratulations. And I'm glad Dick got to hear those clips.
I hope your mom doesn't
Yes.
send you to jail.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be raped in there, so I think I would be okay.
I guess. Let's always look on the bright side.
Yeah, I tried to, Dick. Thanks for having me, boys.
No, thank you for coming on, CJ. Appreciate you. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was working with CJ. We were doing holy rollers, and man, I love that guy. He's got a lot of
Yeah.
potential. That kid's got a lot of get up and go gumption, all that stuff.
And
All
go
right, so Dick,
manipulate
let's-
women into having sex with him by making them feel guilty.
Yes.
It's amazing. That's a tough quality to come by.
Yeah, it really is.
So Dick, you've been doing this now. It's May, right? So you guys broke up in May. So we're at 4 years of the Dick Show now, right?
Yeah, this week is 208, so that's 4 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. 6 years.
Wow,
in
and we're at
podcasting.
108, Ray. How about that? We're 100 behind exactly. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So in 4 years of doing the Dick Show, all right, you've probably had some ups and some downs. What are some of the best ups that you think you've had?
Oh God. I think the funniest thing was Chris the Kiwi, the legendary insane person, the guy who threatens to chop off women's tits, the guy who's legally not allowed to leave Australia or be online, who got catfished by a guy pretending to be a woman using a gender-swapped version of Chris the Kiwi. I think that was who called in live on the show so Chris could meet this lovely woman, this enchantress who he had been sending pictures of his cock to and whatever. And then live on the show, the guy busts out the worst woman voice, like, hello, that I've ever heard. He just kept rolling with it. I probably think about that. I probably think about that every other day still. We still talk about that and laugh at it. It was so fucking funny.
So the reverse of that question being a down or a low might be even the reverse of that situation where Chris the Kiwi is now like threatening to stalk 80s girl. Or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. We're pretty used to it at this point. If anything doesn't go anybody's way when it comes to me, they go, well, that's it. I'm going after your girlfriend. It's happened so much now that it's funny because everybody thinks that they're the first one to come up with it, and they all get there eventually. Like, well, that's it. I'm going to show you. I'm fucking going after your girlfriend. Like, are you guys?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yes. If you don't pay my $50 invoice, I'm going to go after your girlfriend too. I'll tell you up front. So. Yeah.
I have never seen anything like it. Her life would be so much more stress free if we were not together. I'm sure of it. We actually a long time ago we talked about faking to break up just so people would stop fucking with her job. But then I'm like, yeah, but I can't. I can't keep that straight. I'm gonna fuck that up on the show because you're so annoying at home, and I have to talk about that on the show. So that's not going to work.
So how does she
album
deal with it
great.
now? Like, yeah, the album was
The
fantastic.
album was really fantastic.
So you have.
I don't think
80s
that
girl.
the Dick Show album was as funny as finding out that Sean has never listened to it. That was the best part of that Billboard charting album that thousands of people bought and listened to, and he's on the cover, and he just never listened to it. He met the creators in Australia face to face, and they said, "What do you think of the album?" And he goes, "I haven't listened to it." I'm like, "Oh my God, how could you do that?" That was probably the worst part of the show. Not going to Australia. That was the worst thing.
All right, you got canceled out of Australia because of who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a mix of fuck ups and the shooting. That stupid Christchurch shooting happened the day before or the day after we submitted our paperwork. So They didn't. I mean,
International travel mystifies me, right? I went to Italy a couple of years ago. I got a passport. I got on a plane. I got off a plane. I showed my passport to an Italian guy, and then I was done, right? That was it. And the same in reverse, right? But, you couldn't get to Australia for some reason. I got a guy I know who met a woman online in China who he's gonna marry. He never met her. He's got to go next year to meet her for the first time. He's got all these weird different visas that he has to get in order to meet this woman he's never met before. You can't just show up at some place and say, "Hey, I'm here to visit for 2 weeks." It's very confusing.
It's weird, right? Like I went to, maybe it was last year or 2 years ago. I went to Israel, and then I went to Abu Dhabi from Israel. I had to connect in Cairo because I think Israel is like the great Satan for Abu Dhabi. And I told the guys, my friend said, well, you got to tell them not to stamp your passport in Israel because you're going to Abu Dhabi. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? What? Then that's the way everyone does it? And he goes, yeah, I've done it. I'm like, all right, man. Like that seems kind of like asking for it. Like, and that'll be fine. He goes, yeah. So I get to Abu Dhabi and they go through all my shit for like 3 hours. Like dissecting it and taking all of my stuff apart and just not understanding what it is. And then that's it. Then they said, okay, you're free to go. But I'm like, man, I don't know how it's easier to get from Israel to Abu Dhabi than it is to just board a plane to Australia. Fucking stupid. Fuck Australia.
Yeah. Oh, is Maddie still here? No, good. He didn't hear that. Thank God. Yeah. Oh, shit. He's just popping in.
There he is. Turned his camera on.
Yeah, we have our biggest fan in Australia. So now I was talking to my wife earlier this evening about you, Mr. Masterson, and I said she thinks everybody's an asshole.
Yeah.
So I pulled up your Patreon page on my phone. And I said, yeah, look at this asshole, right? And so we were talking about it. I mean, congratulations, by the way.
Check out these assholes.
Yeah. There's five digits of an asshole there, and we were talking about this, and I said, "Man, can you imagine if that just happened with my stupid little show?" And she's like, "Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd take even a quarter of that." So the deal was that at $5,000 a month, I could do anything to make that money aside from getting arrested or getting AIDS. And I'd be able to philander my way around the country doing so. So my question, Dick, is how does a jackass like me endeavor to make any money doing a podcast?
I don't know. You gotta really, you gotta piss more people off. You gotta really make it hurt. You gotta really make them hurt, and then they'll do all your advertising for you, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It's just random.
It just happens, huh?
Totally random. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't fucking know. You need an enemy.
Maddox's failings.
It was definitely Maddox, but you need an enemy. People like good stories. They will pay for good stories, and every good story needs a good villain, a good antagonist, and Maddox is that, and he'll never get better. So you need to find who your villain is.
Oh man!
And so you can write your hero's journey around them.
Yeah, Ray, I fucked this up, man. I fucked this up in 2014. See, it could have been me. I could have had my villain in Jules. Yep. Oh well.
Who was that?
Yeah,
Jules.
We got to support her. We got to lift her up a little bit.
Yeah.
To be able to also lift us up and you, and then go after her.
Yeah. She was my co-host on my old show, and and Randy's life coach.
Yeah.
At some point.
Did you date her?
No, God, no. But it was it's a whole complicated thing where her husband was jealous of our relationship because we had a creative thing, but she was off doing. It wasn't even a thing. It was never a thing. But he was an asshole. So I was an asshole towards him. And one day I had to apologize for being an asshole to him, and I did so because I'm a good goddamn person. And I said, you know what, man, I'm sorry for being an asshole, and I didn't mean it, right? But sometimes you just got to apologize, and that's what it did. And then he wrote this letter, getting all the venom out that he ever wanted to get out in his life. And telling me that I'm using his wife to replace something I'm missing in my life, and also the bullshit. Oh God! And I said, you know what? I'm kind of done. That's gonna be it because we'll never have the same relationship ever again. So I'm out. And then yeah.
God, how
I'm still
hot was
going
this
off this,
girl?
Rick. Oh, none hot, none hot.
What a weirdo. People are fucking odd.
Yeah.
Just odd.
They really are. I wish I was smarter than like I am now. A lot of things could be different. Oh well, you live and you learn. I guess. So Dick, you're an internet brand now, right?
Oh,
Everybody
boy,
knows
I
the Dick
guess.
Show. Yeah, you get. I know.
I hope not.
You don't want to be called that, but you are. And with that comes an army of fans and followers, some of which don't always agree with everything you do and like to make it known. So. And I know the answer is going to be different. So you had said earlier, if you wanted to become, have an enemy, right?
Yeah.
I can't necessarily have an enemy because of my real life job. I have to be nice to everybody because I got to support myself in real life.
You're fucked then.
But yeah. So I'll never get there. So when these crazies come after you, like those looking for their invoice money or they're stalking your girlfriend or of all the myriad bullshit that they do, how does that, like when it first started happening, Dick, how did you deal with that? Were you kind of like stressing out over it and freaking out, or are you has it always just been rolling with the punches and laughing at it all?
Well, I'm worried because I'm thinking if my girlfriend gets fired, then we're basically married because I have to support her until she finds a new job. Like that, because that's on me. Like if she gets fired, then I gotta deal with it forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a de facto marriage. Like, oh great, thanks a lot, assholes. Well, now what am I gonna do? I can't. Now I'm stuck with her. But I feel like I don't know if it's a generational thing or just a time thing, but all of this like doxing and flagging and weird, all this goofy shit that guys are just constantly complaining about, I'd never have cared about. I obviously have to pretend to care to my girlfriend when it happens to her because she does not. What the fuck? She's not an internet person. What does she want any of these lunatics dealing with her for? Like, I'm an attention whore. It's all I want is for people to talk about me. I antagonize them so they will talk about me. She doesn't want any of this shit. So the first couple times it was harder for her, but now it's like, yeah, oh, here we go. Here comes Oxmad the cowboy with his big swinging. Or here comes the newest villain coming out of the woodwork to fuck with your job. But my people who know me in my regular life were worried about it. The lawsuit freaked everybody out. Because it was so crazy. And when people hear about something that big, it's impossible to convince them that it is that crazy. They see something like that and they say, well, the odds that this is just all crazy nonsense is very low because no one would do this to themselves. No one would burn their entire career and spend all this money to be a laughingstock. No one could be this stupid. Like the odds of that are very low. The odds are probably it's a mixture of truth and fact. But no, I'm afraid that the odds of it being very low are what happened. Maddox is just a lunatic. So having to explain that to people was having to explain to someone that the what is extremely unlikely is in fact reality is difficult and it's a pain in the ass. But at this point, there have been so many fucks doing fucked things that I think everybody just expects it.
You just laugh at
great.
it.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, okay, well, this is, we're going to look into this. We're going to take this really seriously and look at it. And then they go, like, you read an email from Chris the Kiwi and you think, oh, this person is an insane person. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. It's an insane person who has a computer.
Yeah.
I got it. Never mind.
There should be a test.
Computers.
Yeah, like old people with licenses and insane people with computers. Like those things should not happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that they're still at it. All these years later, they're still fucking like Mundane Matt was doing some stream and he fucked up and showed a chat window on Facebook and it's him and Maddox plotting something. It's like, are you guys fucking kidding me? Maddox is talking to his old fucking Madcast Media pals about running these gay ops on me, and we're gonna get him with this, and I'm gonna get him with this. It's like, are you guys? Do you not realize that you never make any money off what you're doing? Like, do you not realize that it always fails? It always fails because you guys are fucking failures. Like, this isn't. I don't know how many times you just do the same thing and it fucks up and you keep coming back for more, but maybe it's never. That's why casinos work. And the casino is me. They come up, they pull the arm every fucking couple of months. They swagger in with a new scheme, with a new gambling strategy. They come into my casino, pull the arm, and then lose everything and get kicked out again. That's the cycle. It will happen forever. It's going to happen fucking forever because these clowns just don't know how to have a good time.
You know, it's not the state of the normal right mind to go doxing or flagging or reporting other people. That, you know, normal people just move on. So it's all the crazies who are ruining it for everybody. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's the same type of people who are scared to go out without a mask on in public, right? Like that's the biggest revelation to me in all this whole Corona craziness is the amount of people who are very happy to sit home and hide. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
the
it really
America
is.
I know, brother. Yeah. All right. So let's move on. We have another segment to do. All right, and this is voicemails. And I don't know if you know this, and you probably don't. But you know what? Before that, I did want to say, internet lawyer Nick Rekieta. All right, he was on our show. He was on episode 21 and explained the whole lawsuit drama to the entire audience and my old co-host, who was also a lawyer, which was interesting. And it was on that show that Nick announced that he was quitting his law practice and going full time onto YouTube. And so I can proudly say I helped launch his internet career. So
that's great. He's still killing it.
Take full credit. So Ray gets paid for every bumper we play. So I do have to play a bumper here.
This is the voicemail bumper. This is
Contracts.
the bumper on your left, and this is the bumper on your right. This is a badass guitar riff. And finally, here's your voicemails. Sorry, that guitar riff's too cool not to play twice.
All right. So some of these callers were very excited to leave voicemails today because you were here, Dick. So if you have trouble hearing them, just let me know.
All right.
Hey, Rich Stickman Show. It's me, Spaghetti, your intern. Sorry I can't make it to the show this week. I'm currently in Dubai trying to talk you guys' shareholders into keeping funding for the show. Because Mr. Dickman went on a huge rant about how the Jews should die or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, Spaghetti.
Specifics of it.
God damn
Yeah.
He must have misheard something.
So yeah, just ran.
Interns aren't
finally
very
got
bright.
Dick Masterson on the show. It must be really hard to ask him all those questions with all your blood flow going to your cock right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope that you're having a fun time. You know, I hope you're not embarrassing yourself in front of your fucking idol or whatever the fuck he is.
That's a little too
And
far.
just be a good boy. Ray, you're here too. Dick, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Cool, yeah, I'm leaving now. Bye.
You know what, Spaghetti? You said you were going to leave a good voicemail for Dick, and you didn't. So, all right. Here comes another one.
Hi, Ram. Congrats on 108. I wanted to call in today to say that your dad is as Italian as a ham and cheese Hot Pocket served with Mountain Dew. And your cock is so shitty that it became an innie out of shame.
Oh, my God.
Hi, Ray. Don't think I forgot about you. When I'm finished, you'll be Lieutenant Dan with fewer limbs and less to live for. We all know that the only reason you're here is to slobber all over Rem Gumpman's box of chocolates, cradle his bonbons, and swallow his coconut cream, you fucking simp. Hi, Dick. I'm glad you can make it tonight to show these cockslaps how to run a fucking podcast. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah. Thank you, Barry's.
Wow.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
that was Barry's.
Yeah, thank you.
Should have recognized her name. Her voice.
All right. You got another one here. Uh-oh.
All right. Voicemail number whatever from executive producer Randy answer 0 with an E here. Calling in because we have a special guest that I don't really know much about, so I thought I would call, and for the people who don't know, I would read his Wikipedia page.
Mine?
Yeah,
that way we
yours.
set the record straight. great.
You don't have one.
No, I
This
don't.
very nice guy who has come on the show and has done nothing but be awesome with us.
Randy was very high.
Let's see. Oh, well,
Oh, nice.
I Googled him, and what comes up is Maddox. Right. Maybe that's his real name.
Yeah.
Here we go. George Ozuze,
Oh no.
better known by his pen name Maddox, is an American comedian, internet personality, and author. He gained fame on the internet in the early 2000s for his opinion-oriented website, The Best Page in the Universe, which
Randy, what are you doing?
he still maintains. He still maintains a web page that he started. Damn, that's cool. His first book, The Alphabet of Manliness, I remember that book. My friend Jared Crabtree was really into
He hasn't
it.
picked up any new hobbies in a long time.
So, anyways, became a New York Times bestseller. He is a graduate of Woods Cross High School in Woods Cross, Utah. He also attended the University of Utah, but does not hold a degree.
What?
And this guy is wearing a crown and flipping off the camera.
So informative.
Weird. Okay. All right, well, there. Now we know more about this Dick Masterson character. And this has been a service of the executive producer of the Rick Dickman Show. You can find this quality of content here every week. Don't miss out. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Randy. Did our bio of Dick Masterson for us. Awesome. All right.
I'd be happy with that actually. If they just, if I did get a Wikipedia and they just made it that would be great.
Just made it Maddox's.
Yeah, verbatim. Start a
We could
campaign.
probably get somebody in our
confuse
audience to do
everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's the best part about Wikipedia, though, is you can curate whatever you want on there. Like me being an Arizona Cardinals fan, a few years ago, we had a head coach named Bruce Arians who famously won a bunch of games in Seattle, which was like an unwinnable stadium. And someone changed it to say like his like hometown or whatever, like where he lives, like in Seattle, like just people like talking shit about the Seahawks. Like you can just literally go on there and just edit stuff. So that's where, I mean, you could go in there and just make up whatever the hell you want. So Wikipedia is amazing if you have some fun with it.
I wrote a whole thing on chickpeas and how they help your sperm count, and it got deleted. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the thing. You got to just keep updating it. Keep on it. You got to be persistent.
So Dick, the last set of voicemails here is going to be about 6.5 minutes long total. There's 3 of them, and it's from one of our favorite listeners. His name is Isaac Jackson.
I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know Isaac. Yeah, and these are always fun to listen to. So here we go.
Hey, what's up, Rim?
Yep.
I just wanted to have a moment of silence.
What's up,
right
Isaac?
there, bro. Real talk. Hey, Dick, real talk. I mean, I hit you up on Twitter and stuff, and I was like, bro, if I do some Adderall and shit, and then I drink a little bit of, not a, what a little bit of beer is. You know what I mean? Like 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Take 5 or 6, 20 milligrams. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a mini baby speedball. You know what I mean? But real talk, hey, I mean, I know it's the Rich Dickman Show is like, I mean, maybe you haven't heard of it that much, and you do that if you hit on the episodes, bro, as like the podcast Godfather. I mean, you got all these, you got New Project 2 Empire and shit. You paying people behind the scenes and shit. You know what I mean? You got Joshua Moon, bro, the anti-Israel himself. I mean, real talk. I mean, hey, you got to get JLP on that. I mean, I think he'd run for it. Also, real talk, bro. I'm gonna see if I can get PPP to call him, but I think he probably don't like black people. I mean, real talk. It's usually niggas like that try and moralize in weird ass ways, bro. I'm about to get cut off by this bitch. If I get cut off by this bitch, I ain't gonna fuck with that, bro. But real talk, Dick, I called in on episode 143. That shit was back in February of 2019. And you really understand, I mean, I feel bad for that virgin too, bro. I'm tangential as fuck right now. I'm sorry, bro, but real talk, you understand, you know what I mean? I feel bad for him, bro. If you don't get it inside her pussy or her butt, I mean, and get that nut, you ain't crossed that finish line. You know what I'm talking about? That's real. Everyone know that.
Yeah.
But the real thing is
that.
It's amazing to be expository and say capricious. You know what I mean? And say atavistic, bro. I can't use it because I'm going to be like, bro, you just said that because Dick said it. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I never heard that word. Same for, what's that other word you use? It means something from another time occurring in like a different time, like it's come back, kind of like
anachronistic.
Shit, I don't remember what the fucking word is, but it's just super complicated. I mean, anachronism. Yeah,
that was it.
Bro, you smart as hell. Real talk. I'm gonna hit you back, though. I don't want to get this bitch saying goodbye.
Yeah. All right. So so here's part 2.
All right. So real talk. I mean, I'm gonna try not to leave too many, bro. That was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. I mean, I'm keeping time on this. Real talk, Dick. I mean, at least check out my podcast, bro. I only got 3 episodes, and I kind of fucked up the 3rd one. And Rim is like helping me, bro. He's like, he's dying. He really is, bro. I've been going through some shit. Rim also on that shit, you know, like with the emotional stuff, like, you know, you the only one I shared that shit with. Like, real talk, it ain't on the other person, bro. I mean, I was, you know, your boy went stupid. You know what I mean? Like, basically, I got explained to from you, and then I got explained to from the other person. You know what I mean? So it's like totally not on them. But either way, real talk, Dick. Like, I mean, at least like give a hint on my pocket. Like, I'm not trying. I literally, I want.
I can't even follow along with
your actual opinion of, like, you know, like, is it a thing?
Okay.
Like, what could I, like, I mean, I got, like, a plan for N-words across America. I mean, Ren is like my white dad. He actually, like, I mix, so, like, you know what I mean?
I'm his white dad.
I was talking about that dude that fucked up on the virgin contest, bro. I used to talk like that, Dick. Real talk, I did. But, I mean, I grew up in, like, inner city Jacksonville. I mean, you on Moncrief and you talking like that? Niggas walk up and, like, real talk, you talking like, hey, man, I just want to, I just want to get along. And then straight up real talk, they're like, bro, I'm about to fade up on you, bro. Let me hit that shit. And then you just like, nah, bro, nah, I got it. I understand now. You see, I was playing before, you know what I mean? I was being stupid. Don't hit me, please. That's how it is. I mean, shit's crazy, bro. So, I mean, I grew up like, I grew up on the internet too, bro. I grew up like getting beat the shit out of, and I grew up getting called nigga. Hard R. I drop that on my show all the time, and I let Riley drop it. Bruh, hey, real talk, Triple Jesus, bruh. You know, we anointed him as a black person. You might want to check that. Like, real talk, he has all the traits, bruh, and he hits nigga like a nigga would. You know, he's a bitch ass nigga, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's about not being awkward about it. He's just totally like, you know, he's like, why not be awkward about it? It's a word. You know what I mean? It's permeated the culture. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I call niggas niggas, and I'm a nigga. You know what I mean? It's like Triple Jesus, bro. Like, I understand why, you know, Triple Jesus is hilarious, bro. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand it, but Dick, you do. But like, I appreciate that nigga so much, and he really is like, you know, we anointed him as Mocha, but I also wanted to say he caramel, cause like, you know, I say like caramel, so I like to say caramel, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Okay, he got cut off.
Oh no, the bitch told him that you were out of time. He got trapped by that bitch that time. Oh, that's not a good feeling.
No. Here's the last 3 minutes.
Our receptionist doesn't give any warning. She just hangs up.
Yeah, she doesn't like black people either, apparently.
She doesn't give a 10-second warning, nothing.
God damn it. Here we go.
All right, Rizzo, this is the last one. I'm so sorry, Rim. I know I fuck up on everything. I do. But I mean, hey, Rizzo, you know what I mean? You kind of like, I'm like, you know, you the master, and I'm like you teach me how to pick cotton real good, like right off the thing, right off the.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know shit about picking cotton. I don't know how you would actually do it. I mean, but either way, you know what I mean? You teaching me like, you know, real, like, I mean, hey, bro, real talk. Think about this, both y'all. Imagine if every black kid in America got just out of nowhere, you know, if they ain't had like a dad that was like, you know, really like teach them anything, or like that nigga, you know, he went to get some smokes and some milk, bro, and then hey, you got lost, bro. For fucking 50 years. Imagine if they had like just a white dude that came in and kind of like said, hey man, I can't, you know, be a dad, but I mean, I can mentor you. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just crazy, bro. I mean, it's amazing. Amazing. You know what I mean? Amazing. Real talk. Like, that's Rim like my white dad, but I also want to say like, congratulations on like the podcast getting to where it is right now. I mean, I hope this episode is like balling past maximum. You know what I mean? Talk about all that crazy shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? All these crazy niggas like making crazy like the Kiwi Fires was going crazy, and like they used to be like real on point with shit, but they're like,
Yeah,
bro,
they did.
this shit ain't in the right thread because we feel it's like it should be in that thread. And I'm like, but you can still find them and you could say exactly the same thing and it makes no difference literally. And they're like, yeah, but the only reason why it hasn't gotten changed is because he paying Joshua Moon, who owns the site, with his new Project 2 money. And I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, what
are you talking about?
These niggas fucking Stretch Armstrong reached out to fucking Pluto. It ain't even a planet anymore. I'm sorry, Pluto, real talk. Like, you the nigga of the planet, but real talk. They reached out there and grabbed that shit. I'm sorry about that. But, hey, I got, don't smoke blunts because they give you secondhand acne. Real talk. Tell Sean that. And
what?
I will.
If I could, like I said, Ram, the first time we had an episode that I guessed it on, if I could describe the human body in any way, I would say it's something like a torpedo. You know what I mean? That makes total sense. Either way, bro. I mean, if you want dick, hit me up on Twitter, bro. I want to call in, bro. Let your boy call in. I want to share some, like, you know what I mean? I want to like be the bridge between you and Jesse Lee Peterson. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We can use these N words to build to shut down bigotry. Real talk, bruh. Y'all niggas stay nigga. And I mean, you got the N word pass. Use it. God damn it. Don't.
So
all the celebrities have to say it. They all got to come out. Madonna's got to come out and just say it. Full throat.
Well, that's the problem.
R.
Like, if you hear it enough, it just like permeates your brain. Like, I'm afraid he says it so much. At some point, I'm just gonna say it. Like, just because you hear it so often, at some point, it just becomes part of your nomenclature or something. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, God, we gotta bleep them out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, next thing you know, I'm gonna start saying it.
Dick, you don't know this
unintentionally.
But Ray is a minority himself. He's married to a Mexican family, and he's Asian. He's 25% Chinese. Yep.
Yeah, I became 25% Asian about a year ago.
So you could do the voice all day, like going around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like all day long. You could do that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Oh, you
man.
like the Chinese food?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ray!
I can do it.
It's always funny.
You know.
It's always funny.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dick, our last segment, and it's aptly named, okay? Because I used to be a professional podcast advice giver. So we have a segment on the show called Dick Tips, because it's our brand. Everything's with a dick, and unfortunately, it kind of cross brands with you, and I apologize for that. I mean,
well, that's okay. I didn't come up with it.
Half the population is,
yeah. So we have our listeners who write in and they ask for advice on things, and so we give it to them. But with you here, this is a very special question. So I got to play the bumper so Ray gets paid. I don't have any contract issues, but then we'll get into it. Okay.
This is a bumper for the Dick Tips segment
because Ray wanted
Dick. He's like, what the fuck? What contract? What are you talking about?
And talk about himself in the third person.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dick, you are a master Lothario. You're a suave, sexy Mexican, all right? And yes,
I guess.
Yes, sir. And we have, our show shares some of your listeners, and so they want to know. Jackson wrote into us. And he wants to know how to pick up women. He hears you talking about, saying, hey, using I like your shoes, or what's your dad like? And he went a little further in his letter. I'm not going to get into the whole thing because it's really long. It's like 3 pages. I had to really cut it down to a couple sentences. But he really wants to know, when Corona times end that he can go back out, how can he pick up women? How do you effectively use the I like your shoes line? And how do you work what's your dad like into a conversation? And if it makes it easier for you, Dick, we can do a little bit of role play. Ray can play the girl. I can moderate. No, okay. No, all right.
Let's not. I've had enough role play for this year. I have enough people trying to role play me with text. You really have to mean it, Isaac. You got Guys are they say these lines, but they really they don't put any bass in it. They kind of shy away, like it's like they're doing a drive-by, like walking by, like they're already leaving by the time they're dropping the line. Like, man, you've just got to plant your feet down right there like you're talking to Santa. You can't be shy about it. You've got to actually tell yourself that you like her fucking shoes. In your mind, actually prep yourself up to thinking that those shoes are interesting and that you want to hear about her fucking dad because she's just the most fascinating person in the world to you. And then you say it, and then you leave. That's how men have been doing it since the beginning of time. Work yourself up into a frenzy, man. You sit there, get yourself in a sexual mood, and know that you are going to sell it because you want it. You want it more. You want what you're doing. You want to do what you're doing. This isn't a trick or a game. This is how I always talk. I always ask about shoes because I fucking love shoes. And anybody says any different, they're lying. I love them. Tell me about your shoes. I fucking love them. And that's it. That's all you got to do. You got to really want to know. It'll feel gross and dirty because it is a lie. But if you believe it, you have to believe it. You have to actually want to.
It's not a lie if you believe it, right?
Yeah. Is this advice on how to pass like a lie detector test as well?
Yes, women are.
I think there's some parallels.
They're human lie detectors. That's why.
They are.
Yes,
that's very true.
They've got tens of thousands of years to detect your lies, to access their pussies, and you've got to get through all of their bullshit to do so.
You know, I have a friend of mine. He lives in Queens, New York City, and his name is Chris O.C., and he hates liars, and he hates lying. And it kind of doesn't work for us because, you know, there's times where you have to not tell the truth in order to protect things or to get what you want. And he does not seem to understand that. So he has principles that are harder than Ray's dick getting his wife pregnant. His principles will not bend whatsoever. And the second he detects any type of lie, he will cut you out. Doesn't matter if you've been friends with him for 10 years or 5 minutes.
Really?
He will not talk to you again. Yeah.
Oh, what kind of lie?
It's the craziest shit.
Anything.
Anything. Here. So I'll give you an example.
That's
Dick.
psychotic. That's crazy controlling to me.
It almost is. Yes.
We have a very tiny Patreon on this show. Okay. And it's for the fans who want to help support. And it's great. We love you all. All right. But there was a time where I was thinking, you know what? We don't really have anything going on. I'm going to get rid of it. And he stopped listening to my podcast, his best friend's podcast, because we had a Patreon. He doesn't like Patreon. So he stopped listening. So I told him, I said, hey man, I'm going to be getting rid of the Patreon. So you can start listening again. All right. So he gave it a couple weeks and I didn't mention anything about the Patreon, but then all of a sudden people started joining again. Right. Yeah. And so we had to start putting up bonus content and doing stuff for our awesome patrons. So he has all the Patreon words muted on his Twitter, but somehow one of my tweets about it got through to him. And he hops on his Twitter one night. He works nights and I see him on the timeline and he usually texts me. Yeah. And he says, oh, that was disappointing. I guess I know, never stray from the truth or some shit. I don't know. And he didn't talk to me for a goddamn week because he thought I was lying to him about the Patreon that just happened to get members again. Yeah.
That sounds like a great villain for you. That is a bizarre philosophy online.
Yeah. It's the strangest thing. He's so you can't even talk to him about what's going on in the world because he's so anti-Republican and anti-Trump. And I'm always willing to see both sides of an argument. And so we are always, I don't even bother talking about that shit with him anymore because it's not worth my time or my frustration. I don't know how, lying. That's how we got into it. Yeah. Lying's important. You have to do it sometimes, right? I get it. All right. Dick.
I mean, if you're not lying to yourself when you get out of bed in the morning, you must have some great shit going on in your life, but the rest of us are just lying. Man, should I just not get out of bed today? Probably, yeah. I'd be happier. No, man, things are going to go great today. Something great might happen today, and you've got to get out of bed to enjoy it. All right, I know that's a fucking lie, but I'm doing it.
Totally.
That's the motto I live by. Fake it till you make it.
The original question, which is how to pick up women. That's what you have to have, that mentality of positiveness, which you're saying, sell it that you're into the shoes. I work with this guy who literally went to this job site and it was supposed to be a half day's work and it required him overtime to fucking do this job. And basically it's the mentality. He tells me first, he shows up, first guy he walks up to, he goes, oh yeah, this guy was sweating, so he must have been an alcoholic or a drug addict. And I'm thinking,
What?
okay, so you're judging the living shit out of this guy immediately, right? Like that's your mentality. And I guarantee you that guy is picking up on this vibe. And then it just turns into like this whole deal, right? All day, everyone's mad at him and this and that. And I'm thinking, there's a common denominator here, right? Same thing. If you're going to go pick up women, you're in a shitty mood or you're trying to nitpick them or, oh, that lady's not good enough for me. It's not going to work. You got to come up with a positive attitude. If you really like that girl, yeah, sell it. Whatever that item is that you're gonna latch onto, the shoes, the whatever, your purse, your outfit, sell it. You got to maintain that positive attitude and you'll score some.
You're supposed to enjoy flirting with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a man, you're supposed to enjoy everything up until and through during the sex, and then after that, it doesn't matter if you enjoy it or not. But
Exactly.
So enjoy it for God's sake.
Yeah.
All right, Dick. Before we let you go tonight, and before we end the show, there's another couple things I want to touch on because I'll never have this chance again. Because after tonight, you'll forget all about me, and
Don't say that. You might start another podcast that will get to 108 episodes. You guys might have a huge fight, sleep with each other's wives.
Yeah, we have seven more, Ray. 7 more before it all ends. Okay,
that's it.
Your musical talent, Dick, is incredible, and it is a talent that I wish I had. That I tried to develop a couple years ago by teaching myself the bass guitar or singing in a rock band, even though I can't sing for shit. So I just wanted to say, like your piano streams, all this stuff. I don't know where the musical talent came from. Did that come? How long has that been? Has that been all your life? You've been like, are you like one of those weird child prodigies, or you just practice a lot?
So when Sean and I lived together, that's all we would do. We would just drink and play music. That's where I learned how to play the piano because they had one. His mom had one sitting around.
And you taught yourself?
Played guitar. Yeah. You start easy with some chords, and then it's very simple. The liquor does most of the work, but I started playing that, and then I go through Blendfold's songs and like do them really, really fucking slow, like note by note. And I don't know. I guess it's just over time, it started to feel natural.
So you taught yourself all of that at an adult age?
Yeah, I played some piano when I was a kid, like the hot cross buns and reading out of books and shit, but I hadn't played for right. I don't know, 10 years.
The thing is you can sing. You can sing. Like, that's incredible too. I would have guessed. No offense, but I never would have guessed. you could
not
sing
as well
and
as
play the piano.
Canberra. Not as well as people who, try, but
yeah,
I could pull a service.
We got to get you on The Masked Singer, Dick.
Oh God. Yeah.
I wish the show's amazing. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's hella random people on there. They just had a season finale yesterday, and I unfortunately figured out who won it, which was a surprise. But so this isn't a huge spoiler, I don't think. Season 1 winner, which was someone that was they're already in like the 3rd or 4th season, but the season 1 winner was someone that, as they were going through, you're thinking, this guy can fucking sing. Like, who is this? Turns out it was T-Pain.
Oh, really?
Like, no one fucking knew. It was the hugest surprise. But all I'm saying is they just get people that you wouldn't. There are some people that you're like, oh, I know who that is pretty fast. But they had what's his fuck? I don't know what his name is. Ninja, the streamer.
Right.
He was on this last season.
That's fine.
They've had
that guy.
people that aren't necessarily super famous, but dude, you'd easily get on there if you can sing. Then they have Barry Zito. Got,
Ray.
the pitcher for the A's and the
This
Giants.
is Dick fucking Masterson. You think they're going to put him on a Fox show on a network?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I don't
Come
think I
on,
could
Ray.
even go to the audience of that show.
It'd be amazing. No, it'd be fucking. That would be the whole point.
This is why I keep Ray around. He makes me feel good about myself. Yeah. When I'm feeling down, I say, "Hey, Ray, I'm feeling down," and Ray he lifts me right up. I love you, buddy. You're a good friend.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So, and finally, Dick, tonight, I wanted to let you know that Ray and we're going to be getting into the pornography business pretty soon with some Rich Dickman branded pornography. Ray, did you send those shirts out?
Yeah.
Oh, did you, Ray?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't like that answer.
Yes.
Okay.
They're out. And Jessica Lust, I got her address as well.
What are you talking about? What shirts are you doing?
So So we have three porn stars who are regular guests on the show, and we made shirts for them at the request of one of them that says "Thick bitches love Rich Dickman show." And last week we came up. Ray had a like a gay experience with a delivery driver, and we decided that would be a really good porno idea. And so we'll be getting into some Rich Dickman branded porno pretty soon, which is my way to make $5,000 a month.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's right around the corner.
So on that note, I know that you are a breast man, and your favorites are Lucy Wilde and Tessa Fowler. But have you ever seen or heard of Angela White?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
I know her.
Okay. I just wanted
one
to,
of
you
your,
know what?
Is she one of your porn
God,
girls?
no, she's too famous.
You know what she did? She recently did. I think it was Angela White. This porn with a big fat woman, and I can't get it out of my mind. I was really pissed off that she did it because I'm like, well, Angela, you're kind of a little. I mean, you're pushing the line, but now when I see you, I just think of that fat woman that you did this porn with. I gotta go.
So we're not going to get into the style of porn that we're into. My personal preferences, but no, you for your 200th episode. So was Tessa Fowler invited and she didn't show, or did she?
Yes,
did she tell you she
we
wasn't
were
coming?
talking in the morning because of the fucking coronavirus. I think no one was sleeping, and I DM'd her on Instagram thinking like, there's no way she's gonna even see this, and we talked for. God, I don't know. Back and forth for a while. She was into it. She was into doing the show. She said she would hit me back with a definite, but then we started talking about it for much longer. She sounded into it, so I just assumed, great, she's coming. She asked for the info, and then nothing, never, not one response since then, which. You know, people get busy, but it's a bummer. I'm disappointed. It's disappointing for me. I know, man.
You should know that that berries and cream scared away one of our male porn star friends one night, and so that was fun.
What happened?
Now, well, she was talking about fucking dads, like violently fucking dads with her massive cock, and it was funny. Yeah, God bless you, Berries. She is quite a treasure. So my final porn star question is: you did the YouTube show with Maddox.
Yeah,
and that was fun. And he had Ella Darling.
Yeah.
He had Ella Darling on one of those episodes. Was she as annoying as she seems?
She's just like. See, some of these porn stars are really up their own
they're
ass.
changing the world.
I guess they've had so much stuff crammed up there that they might as well hang out up there too. But that bitch, she was one of the ones who shared Maddox's rape list video. So I was like, oh, okay, fuck you. Yeah, she was. I didn't think anything of her. Of just like, oh, great, another one of these. It's another one of these porn stars that's now mainstream. Now we have to tolerate this because so many guys beat off to you. Just thank you so much for this this personality you're gracing us with. Like Sasha Grey. That was every once in a while they try to push a porn star through mainstream entertainment, which there's no crossover over.
Ever.
I don't know who's doing it.
Anybody who came close, it was Jenna, and that was it. And so we have this movement. Was it earlier this year or late last year where they wanted to ban porn? Like all the weird guys on the internet decided that banning porn was a good cause to get behind.
Great idea.
Yeah. What?
Really weird.
You just got a whole bunch of people to see your side of the argument, and all of a sudden you want to ban their pornography. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, know your audience.
I know. Like that is even if they thought so, even if they wanted to do that, I don't get why they would ever say it out loud. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? No.
What do you gain? Yeah. You could preach your family values and shit too. Just leave the pornography out of it. You know, don't even bring that up because you lose the message. You lose.
Just
the
get
message.
a porn blocker. Like try to get people to eat a salad before you start locking their cocks down. Like, do you understand the size of the ask that you're making right now? delusional.
Right. Oh, crazy. All right. Dick Masterson, this has been a joy. I really appreciate you giving us your time, the time of day.
Oh, definitely.
Well, thanks,
just
guys.
acknowledging
Thanks
us,
for having
and
me.
I can finally retire now. It's been 108, and we got Dick on, so it'll.
Thank you for giving me a 108. I needed it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, when do you do 208s, or is it just one? Like, we're never going to talk to you again?
Well, you got to start a new show, I guess. I mean, I'll call in again.
Fuck.
It's a fun show.
Yeah, okay.
We can do that.
Yeah.
See you
It
in 2
doesn't
years.
always need to
Yeah.
be a bit.
See, in my fantasy world, Dick, you and I have become best friends. See, that's what happens with all my podcast guests. We all become best friends, and we're hanging out and we're having drinks.
Oh,
So
no,
next
you don't
time
want
we're
to
on
be
the
friends
East
with
Coast.
me. I don't treat my friends very well. You don't know what you're asking for. It's a
Oh,
bad.
good. All right, good. So I won't be
Most
disappointed.
podcasters, I'd assume.
But yeah, bring a road rage out this way, man. New York City. You did New York City, didn't you? But like Boston,
No,
or
we
even
didn't do New
Hartford.
York
Hartford's
City.
a shitty little city. Oh, you did do New York, okay?
No.
There's Rhode Island. That's a nice tiny little shitty place. Providence is fun. Providence is actually a nice city. Then Hartford kind of sucks. Boston. There's lots of places. What I'm saying, Dick, is you should come out to the East Coast, and then
Well,
I can
dying to
watch
get
a
out
drunken
of
audience from
this
afar.
city. We're doing the Wings Across America tour, so I'm trying to put that together as soon as possible. But I don't know. I'm kind of scared of going to New York right now.
Yeah, stay out of New York. New York's terrible. As much as my friend is annoying, I do miss my trips to New York, but I know better. Just stay out of New York because God, Jesus, would you believe that cleaning the subways every night just became a thing? It used to be once every 3 days for some reason. Yeah. But every night just became a thing like 2 weeks ago. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How does this, where's everybody's brains here? We're shoving old people with corona back into nursing homes, and we're not cleaning the subway where everybody is traveling from. God, Jesus Christ. And they wanted Cuomo.
What are you spending the money on?
Yeah.
What is, I would have assumed that was happening every day already.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when there's a horrible plague that's going to kill the world. They're going to wait. Anyway, all right, Dick. If you want to plug anything, go ahead. We got the Dick Show and anything else you're doing.
Dick.show,
so my audience
patreon.com/Dick Show.
There you go,
everybody.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off there. Sorry about that. It's Dick.show, patreon.com/Dick Show. Every Tuesday. Check it out. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations on 108 episodes. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Really, really appreciate it. Do you think you'll have Isaac on? Isaac to come talk about N-words across America? Yeah.
I've asked him to come on before.
Oh, really?
Hopefully he'll take me up on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Isaac, you hear that, man? See, I'm your white dad. There you go. Hey, Ray, I wrote a whole outro for this show. I'm going to do it now. So we're going to bring it home. Thank you so much for listening to The Rich Dickman Show. Your ears mean more to us than you know. If you like what we do, want to support the show, you can tell a friend and leave a review. That'd be great. And if you like us even more than that, why not check us out? Why not? Check this out on Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Dickman. We give you extra content every single week. There's bonus clips, bonus shows, and even your very own custom t-shirt. And this week, be sure to check out our final liquor-fueled pop-up audio. Ray, I got into a huge argument about sending you my old hard drive, but I'm going to send you my old hard drive at some point, and hopefully you can get it fixed.
Okay.
Because I need those things. Yes.
Yeah.
And of course,
I won't tell your wife or anybody else that you sent it to me.
Dick, I got into an argument
one will know.
over $5.
Literally no one will know.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I want to mail Ray a hard drive, and it's going to cost me like $5 to ship it across the country, and I got into a huge argument over it. Would you believe that shit? Like, goddamn. Is Dick still here? Did he leave? Oh, God.
No,
I'm embarrassed myself. You can find us online, richdickman.com, for all your Rich Dickman needs. Click that merch tab. Get yourself some swag with some sweet-ass shirts up there and hoodies, but it's not hoodie time of year, Ray. And, of course, we put the episodes on YouTube. If I'm looking for $5,000 a month, I might do more YouTube stuff. But, hey, if you find us on YouTube, hit subscribe because that'd be awesome. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Check out Isaac Jackson's podcast, Chimping Out with Isaac Jackson. And be sure to listen to our bitches. I mean, our buddies at Not For Human Consumption Podcast. RichDickmanShow@gmail.com. Follow executive producer Randy at Sir0 with an E. At Rich Dickman Show on Twitter. At producer Ryan is at Ryan TRDS. And my mother, Dick, you can follow my mother at Rem_Mama. And then there's Ray at Jules Winfield. Ray, you got anything going on?
Just trying to become a pro golfer now. That's about it.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
After playing once.
Doesn't it seem easy?
You're so great. Yeah.
I shot a 105. I'm on my way. I'll be on the PGA Tour next year.
Boom. You keep practicing, buddy. I believe in you.
Yeah. I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow and Monday. Like, I'm literally on a golf binge. I don't even know what to do with my life anymore.
Yeah. He played golf online, and now he's a pro. Yeah. Call the Dickman line, 860-316-4776. Leave an awesome voicemail. Once again, thank you, Dick the Masterson, for just coming on and hanging out with us. This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I'm Rem. Did I do it? I'm Rem Dickman at Rem Dickman on Twitter. That's it. All right, that's enough. That's enough show. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Good night.
See ya.
All right. Dick.
Thanks, guys.
I would like to refute your statement about it not being sweatshirt weather. As we've all seen, Bill Belichick, he's been able to do things like wear a hoodie, cutting his sleeves off.
He lives in New England.
Warmer weather. Yeah. You can modify the things. The sleeves don't cut off the logos on our hoodies there. So,
all right.
You can make it work.
I'm still trying to get the Rich Dickman face masks going. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dick, what are you wearing for a face mask, by the way? Is it a bandana? Because I've got a bandana, and I call myself Cowboy Crew.